Hello, thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Gilded Tarot Royale by Chiro Marchetti, text by Barbara Moore. Where's the website? Hopefully I got that on there right. Alright, so they're Llewellyn products. There's the website llewellyn.com, and there's some other social media links. Feel free to check that out if you're interested. Supportive Oracle Cards, Spellcasting Oracle Cards by Flavia, Barbara, and Lizbeth. Website for this one is shewhoisart.com. I think there's a couple other ones back there. Feel free to freeze frame and check out whatever you're interested in. And I use dice. I use a 22-sided dice. For the major arcana, 22 I use a 0 for the fool, because there's 21. Yeah, you know. And I have a 14-sided dice for the minor arcana and a 4-sided dice to choose the element. They came from, is it Math Art Fun? MathArtFun.com. So if you're interested in any of that, that's where they came from. Alright. That being said, if you want a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching, and now on to your read. Hello, Leo. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. Do we have to do it from the bottom of the deck? All right, let's just see what we got for Leo. I don't know why I'm annoyed with that, but I'm annoyed that it's coming out of, like, where it's like, that's not where it comes out of. I like to do it from the top of the deck. Apparently I'm having an attitude about it. Alright, the one last one from the bottom. This situation does have some stress. Alright, I think that's why I'm partially aggravated with things. Every time it comes out from the bottom, it's like coming out of nowhere. There's stress, there's unhappiness, there's feeling trapped. All these are from the bottom of the deck. So there is some underlying unhappiness with this situation, all right? We are going to be moving on to that. Now, how is a great question. In my opinion, and I know there's a lot of different flavors of Leo, you've had to fight for this situation. You've had to, it's been a challenge. It has been a challenge, even for Leo, because it's kind of like, even if you were a master martial artist, if you got 50 different people coming at you from all different directions all the time, you might still win if you're a master martial artist, but still, it's like, it's a lot. It's not an easy. It's just, I haven't seen the movie John Wick, but I keep thinking of that. Like, just people coming out of nowhere, and I'm like, how are you winning this fight? Like, how is this happening? But you are. You just keep going. You keep fighting forward. This situation has been a fight for quite a while. And in the moment, right now, I feel like the hard part is, right now, it's okay. But there's underlying stress. There's underlying stress to this situation that, like, I don't feel like you dwell on it. I don't feel like you dwell on it, but every now and then it just kind of, it pops up like, oh, that's right, this sometimes is a pain in the ass. Like, does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. It's not like you're like, oh, God, oh. It's not like that, but every now and then it's like, oh, yeah, I got to watch out for that. Currently the energy's fine. Currently the energy's good. You got the Knight of Cups. I'm also feeling stuck at the same time. This is a passing moment. I'm going to be honest with you. It's kind of like the calm before the storm. Right now it's okay, but it's like it's still not right. Right now it's okay, but it's still not right, is what I'm getting. And Leo is an energy that, like, let's just deal with it. We don't need to overtalk. We just need to handle it and move on. Don't go off the table, please. Okay. High Priestess and the Six of Wands reversed. Even though things are good, you're feeling stuck. And I feel like the question is, all right, do I want to be here anymore? I don't know. I feel like for some of you, this might just pop right in your brain. Like, just like, do I want to be here anymore? Like, I fought for it. I fought to keep it. Right now, it's good, but I'm also feeling stuck. I'm feeling trapped. I'm not really sure I want it. I'm not really sure I want this anymore. You might be questioning that in that sense. Like, it just feel like it pops right in. Like, do I even want this anymore? Do I even want this anymore? I'm feeling stagnant. I'm feeling like this isn't for me. If this reading is hitting, you know, it's a general read, this was not where you were expecting to go with this. You weren't expecting to have this moment where you're just like, you know what? Maybe this isn't for me. Maybe it's just not. That Two of Swords is also kind of saying, you're not shooting from the hip and just making a quick decision. You're just kind of going, it's kind of causing you to pause and maybe stall out for him a second, because it's kind of like, wait, before I make this decision. It's kind of like selling a nice house. I might get a really good price for it, but once I've sold it and the deed is out of my name, I can't just take it back, because if they won't sell it to me back, I can't get it back. So before I make a decision to sell this house, I really need to be sure I want to. And I'm thinking I kind of do. There's this pause. This card, just no matter what I was doing, it just kept falling out. I kept shuffling, it just kept coming out. It's a question of commitment. And what am I committed to most? I don't know how this is going to sound, but like this goes along with self-loyalty. You can't be committed to other things if you're not committed to yourself. The strongest commitment has to be to you first. And once you're committed to yourself and what you want and what you truly feel, then you can back up these other things, then you commit to other things, but you have to be committed to yourself first. And by committed to yourself, what I mean is self-loyalty, what you really feel, what you really believe, and standing up for that. So for example, like, I don't know if I should use this example, but I guess I will. Distasteful jokes. Like, I remember when I was young, especially in my teens, I would hear jokes that were just not, they were bad jokes. It wasn't until I was in my 20s that I really felt like I had the strength to have that self-loyalty, kind of like, I know that's not funny. Why am I laughing at that? Like, it was one of those things where sometimes you would laugh, but you'd have that feeling inside, like, I know this isn't right. Like, I know that's wrong. And it's like you'd have that thunderstorm in your brain, kind of like, I know this isn't right. And I was in my 20s before I had the strength to, like, just literally not laugh. And then that's, like, my version of self-loyalty, to stop playing along with things just to get along with people, even though you know it's not right. And it's like, it's not even like it's funny. It's just kind of like you don't want to stand out as the person standing up for something because you know everybody else thinks it's funny. But again, it was till I was in my 20s till I got to the point where I just wouldn't laugh at those things, at certain things. It's gotten stronger as I gotten older, but I mean, we all slip every now and then, but, you know, still. I don't want to act like I'm perfect or anything. So that self-loyalty is about not only what you think, but standing up for what you think. For you, I don't know about it's standing up for yourself as much as, like, defining for yourself what that is and making your own personal decision. This is what I want. And then realizing I have to honor what I want first. Which can be, like, these people matter to me, and what matters the most to me is, like, their happiness. That could be it. If that's for you, then that's for you. But if you're not happy in a situation, whatever this is, and you're like, I've been here X amount of years, and over the X amount of years, it's just gotten less and less enjoyable, am I going to stay here for X amount more and be even less happy than I am now? Or am I going to make this change, bring in happiness that I deserve, and allow other people to have a chance to change their circumstances as well? Self-loyalty, big thing. I hope I explained it correctly, because it weighs on you like a ton of bricks. Like a ton of bricks. Because whatever this choice is that you're coming up to, it does feel like it affects a lot of things in your life. And it's not a small thing. It could end up affecting a lot of people even. So you're not taking it lightly. I feel like whatever this is, you do not take it lightly. It's a very, very important thing. But what's most important is self-loyalty. It is really, you can't do anything without it. When you're loyal to yourself, then you can have true loyalty to other things. If you're not loyal to you, Your loyalty, if you can't be loyal to yourself, you can't really be loyal to anything else, believe it or not. It's always going to fail because it's you that you have to be loyal to first. And then you can pass that loyalty on to other things when it's built from your own self-loyalty. You're coming up to a decision. The Three of Swords. It's not funny, but it's kind of like somebody's going to have to be upset. Is it going to be you? Is the question. I feel like a lot of you know yourself well enough. If it's you, it's not going to last forever because you're not going to put up with it forever. So somebody's going to have to be upset. You do have the option to walk away from it for now. It's not advised you do that, but you can. It's up to you. Because I'm getting, if you're not happy and you're accepting that, like, all right, I guess I'm just not going to be happy, and that's just how it's going to be. It'll come around again. It won't disappear. And typically when these things return, it's kind of like maybe it was a ton of bricks this time. It's going to be 2 ton next time. It just gets heavier. It just gets heavier every time it returns. The advice is, and take it with a grain of salt. This is a general read. Did I lose that dice? No, it's way over there. The advice is, and it's a good card, but it's a hard card for you is what I'm saying. Making that long-term decision to stabilize your situation, letting the wheel of fortune spin. You got the wheel of fortune on the dice. And going for what makes you happy. Going for your 2 of cups. Making that self-loyalty change for what you want, not for what other people want. And I feel like for whoever this hits for, this is not a little thing. You got 4 swords cards, and none of them are really fun. You actually got 5. You got the 2, 3, 8, 9, 10. So there's a lot, and it's hard to let go of it because the natural instinct is to hold on, but it's like it's just going to keep coming around to decide what you want. This doesn't have to mean that this is a devastating ending, devastated ending, whatever. It just means you have to reevaluate to what works for you and what makes you happy. There's a different way to do this. It could show options that were not expected. It doesn't have to mean a total loss here. But until you address it and honor your self-loyalty to what you actually want, because whatever the situation is, I feel like you're doing things for other people to make other people happy, and it's not working. It's not working. You got to be happy. You really do. Other people aren't going to like it. They're going to feel like you're leaving them out in the cold, but you know what? This is how it has to go. If you get rid of this energy that's leaving, they're feeling left out in the cold. Once this energy moves on, you have a different energy that's also a fire energy. It doesn't have to be. This is sometimes talks about Aries. Doesn't have to mean an Aries is coming into your life. But it's like, it's a more brutal energy, but it's one you're definitely compatible with. You don't care about the brutality as long as it's the truth. And you can build a lot with the truth. And it starts with you being truthful with yourself. And by you being truthful with yourself, if this is working for you or not, you also attract other people who are very truthful with themselves. And you match up with people who do link up correctly with you. Once you truly attain the self-loyalty, it's going to change your life. It could be just in this category of your life. Maybe the self-loyalty isn't very strong. It could be just this category. Because there could be certain things in your life you do very well with that. This is what I want. This is what I don't. I don't put up with what I don't want. In certain categories, maybe relationships, you don't put up with that. Maybe your home, you don't put up with that. Maybe it's only at work that you're putting up with that. And they're saying it's time to stop that and don't put up with it anymore. And once you make that change, you won't be turning around. You won't make this change once and go, all right, well, it was good for a while. Time to go back to what other people want me to do. You're not going to do that. Once you've stepped forward, you're not going to step back. And you're going to keep going. And this is going to be a happier life for you. This is going to be a life that's more fulfilling. I'm also getting the analogy, like, maybe right now, living the way other people want you to live, maybe you have that beautiful house with the 3 cars and the camp up in the hills and blah, 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 blah. Maybe by making this decision, you have a modest home with 1 car and none of the extra frills. Yet, between the two things, living with less, you're 10 times happier than when you had all that stuff that you probably were working yourself to the bone anyway and you didn't have half the time to enjoy it. It could be that type of a change. It's being self-loyal to you. Like, it's nice to have all the nice things, but if you're not really enjoying them, I've known people who've had really expensive cars that had a lot of stress to keep them. And I remember thinking, my car does not cost that much, and I love my car, and I don't stress over it. These people had these beautiful cars, these really expensive cars, and they were constantly under stress about how they were going to afford the next payment. And I remember thinking to myself, is that car really even worth it? I mean, my car plays music just like theirs does. Like, my car gets me from A to B just like theirs does. My car looks nice. Like, there's nothing wrong with my car. I just remember thinking that, like, I'd rather have my modest car. I can still listen to music I want. I can get where I want to very safely and on time and in the right way. Like, I don't feel like I need those frills. I definitely don't need the stress that goes with it. It's not about what other people think. It's about what you think. Let's remember that too. I also get you're not going to turn around. Once you make this change, you're not going to go back to the way it was because you didn't like it. It's like being 10 times happier with less, even though it's much better. It's kind of like, yeah, maybe I have a modest car, but I have all this other stuff that I can do instead of it. Like, I can afford going to this trip. I can afford buying these things. I can afford going to this dinner. I don't have to scrimp and save to afford this car anymore. My life is improved. And I know that, Leo does very well and has a lot of success, clearly, but it's like this life change could make a very positive movement forward for you. It's about what you want, self-loyalty. All right, I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.